morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you're watching this. So now, welcome to our revision class in mathematics. So remember, I told you mathematics is being divided into 5. So we are going to take a look at all what we've been doing throughout this term. So now we'll start with numbers and numeration. Remember, in numbers and numeration, we did learn about numbers in figures and in words. You can see from the table here on your screen, you can see we have some numbers that are there and some words. We have some numbers that are missing, and also we have some words that are also missing. You have to complete the following. You have to complete it from 1 to 100. We have from 10 to 100, but this one is in tens. We have 10, 30, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. You have to complete the table on your screen. So we now move to arithmetics. Arithmetics, we started with addition of numbers. Addition simply means putting things together or combining things together. And the terminologies we use in addition is either we say plus or we say putting things together, that is joining things together, or add. Those are the terminologies used in addition. And also we can also add numbers in like vertically. I've explained what vertical is. Vertical method of arranging numbers. When you're vertically arranging numbers, that means from up to down. Then if you're horizontally arranging numbers, we have from, that is right to left or left to right. Okay, so this from up to down is the vertical arrangement of numbers. Then from left to right or right to left, which is on a straight line like this, is what we refer to as horizontal arrangement of numbers, depending on what is given to you. So we also did addition of using number lines. Addition using number lines. Number lines simply mean using a straight line. It's a straight line that shows number from 0 to 10. It shows number from 0 to 10 in order. And we can also use it for subtraction or addition. If you're adding, you move forward. If you're subtracting, you go. Okay. As I've said before, number lines. Number lines, we use them to either add or subtract. And it is a straight line that shows number in order, that is 0 from 0 to 10. So if you are subtracting, you're moving backward. But if you're adding, you're moving forward. So now we also talk about addition of numbers using tens and units. If you're adding numbers using tens and units, it means you're adding two. The numbers have to be two-digit numbers. Two-digit numbers, not one. Two-digit numbers. Okay. Two-digit numbers like 12, 13, 30, 40. They are all two-digit numbers. So if you're trying to add or subtract or solve any mathematics using tens and units, it means you are using two-digit numbers. So, and I think that is all about that. Two-digit numbers. And if you can see on your screen, we have some work. I have some work for you, exercise that you should take. You can see number 1, 2, 3. Okay, you should do these exercises in your books. Make sure you work it out in your books. Okay, because I'm going to mark it next time, inshallah. So we move to the next. Okay, we now move to the next one, which is geometry. Geometry, from the beginning of the time, we started with length. And I told you what length is. The distance from one point to another is what is referred to as the length. So now, if you want to measure length, it's either you use instruments such as ruler or tape. Those are the two instruments you use to measure length, and they are standard. They call them standard measurement because it doesn't change. Anybody that uses it will get the same figure, whether big or small. So that's why it is a standard measurement, and it has its unit, which is in inches, centimeter, meters, and kilometers. So now we also talk about how we can compare length. We can compare length using shorter, shortest, or long, longer, longest. If you want to compare two objects or three objects, we either use shorter, shortest, or long, longer, longest. Then now, we also, if you want to measure length using, or should I say, we can also use different parts of our body to measure length. We can also use different parts of our body to measure length, such as your finger your finger length. You can use your finger length. You can also use your foot pace or strides. You can use your arm's length to also measure. But this type of measurement is the non-standard measurement. Non-standard measurement because it differs from individual. Because my own measurement using hand span may be different from another person's measurement, whether if it is the same object or not. Okay. Then we are also going to talk about weight. Weight. When you're talking about weight, we say is weight shows us how heavy or light an object is. How heavy or light an object is. That is weight. It shows us how heavy or light an object is. So now if you want to compare between two objects, it's either, let's assume I have my phone or a marker and I want to compare it. So basically, you know that a phone will be heavier than the marker. So if I want to compare them, I will say the phone is heavier than the marker. But if I want to do it the other way around, I will say the marker is lighter than the phone. So that is that about weight, and its unit is in gram and kilogram. When you're measuring something that is small, it's in gram, but when you're measuring something that is large, it is in kilogram. So you can see on the screen we have some exercise that you can do in your book. Okay, you should write everything in your book because I'm going to mark it inshallah. So we now go to algebra. So from the beginning of the term, we talk about in algebra open sentences. Open sentences. What are open sentences? Sentences that has a missing number or answer. Sentence that has a missing number or answer. You can see even from your screen, you can see some examples of open sentences there, where you have a particular number like 7 minus dash equal to 3. 7 minus dash equal to 3. That is an open sentence. You have to look for the missing number and place it there. So we also talk about ordering of numbers. Ordering of numbers using greater than or less than. So you order numbers using greater than or less than. For instance, if you are given any, like for instance, you have 7 and 2. 7 and 2. And you're asked to put the correct sign there. What do? 7, definitely you know 7 is greater than 2. So which hand will you use? Remember, the right hand is your greater than sign. You say 7 is greater than 2. But if the first number is a small number and the second number is bigger, you say what? 2 is greater than 7. This is how we use greater than and less than to show numbers in order. Okay, then now we go to statistics. Remember, I told you what statistics is. From the beginning, we say statistics means collection of data. Collection of data. We collect data. We even collected data in your classroom, right? We collected data from your classes. So collection of data means statistics. And what is that data? Data means information. Data means what? Information. We've already said that. So now, other than data, we have ways in which you can represent data. Sometimes through tally. You can use tally in tally form. What are tally? Tally means using straight lines to count numbers, and each line stand as one. For instance, you want to count 3, we have 1, 2, 3 using straight lines. If you want to count 4, we count 1, 2, 3, 4 using straight lines. So now we also talk about frequency table. Frequency table. What is a frequency table? A frequency table is when you show an information using table form, or should I say in a table form. Okay, maybe you draw a straight line, then you write your item, then you tell us how many items can you see there. For instance, if you have books, you tell us how many books are there, you write it 3. Maybe you have an eraser, you tell us how many erasers are there, 2. So this is what a frequency table looks like. It shows information in an organized form. It shows what information in an organized form, and it shows the number of times that information is. If it is a book, for instance, as I told you, books, how many books? 2. How many erasers? 3. This is what we use the frequency table for. So I think that is that about this class. Then I hope this